Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English stories. Mohammed was a young man in his 20s, growing up in a small city where English was just a subject at school. He didn't think it was important. In his school, lessons focused mostly on grammar, vocabulary, and exercises that he would complete with the least effort possible. He saw English as something irrelevant to his life. Everyone around him spoke his native language, Arabic, and most of the TV shows and movies were subtitled, so he didn't feel the need to learn English for daily communication. However, one day everything changed. He had a conversation with an old friend who had traveled abroad and was now living and working in an English-speaking country. His friend shared his experiences about the doors that opened for him because of English, how it allowed him to land great job opportunities and connect with people from all around the world. The conversation left a deep impact on Mohammed, and he realized that English was the key to connecting with the world and that it was crucial for his future if he wanted to improve his career prospects and personal life. At first, Mohammed was filled with self-doubt. He thought learning English would be incredibly difficult. He believed that learning a new language was far beyond his reach. His previous experience with English at school had not been encouraging. It was mostly about memorizing rules and vocabulary, and he didn't see how this would help him in real-life conversations. However, after much reflection, he made the decision to start learning English, even though he knew the journey would not be easy. Phase 1: A bumpy start. Mohammed began his learning journey by himself. He bought books focused on grammar and vocabulary and started memorizing words. However, he quickly grew bored and frustrated. The books were filled with complex rules that seemed disconnected from real-life language use. He wasn't enjoying the process, and it wasn't helping him improve his speaking or writing skills. After a few weeks, he felt like he was wasting his time and that his efforts weren't getting him anywhere. One evening, while watching a foreign movie with some friends, a scene came up where the actors were speaking very fast. Mohammed tried to pay attention, but he could barely catch any words. He felt disappointed and frustrated, realizing how far behind he was in understanding spoken English. However, this moment became a turning point for him. He understood that language learning wasn't just about memorizing words. It also required listening and consistent practice. Phase 2: Engaging with the language. Instead of sticking to books, Mohammed decided to engage with English in a more interactive way. He started watching movies and TV shows in English, but this time, he avoided using subtitles in his native language. Instead, he used English subtitles so he could connect words with their meanings directly. First, it was really hard for him to follow the dialogue. He had to replay the scenes multiple times and try to figure out the words and phrases. But over time, he started noticing gradual improvements. Mohammed also began listening to English podcasts about various topics such as travel, personal development, and sports. In the beginning, it was frustrating because he couldn't understand most of what was being said, and the pace was overwhelming. But little by little, he began picking up more words and phrases, and the topics he was listening to started becoming more enjoyable. He realized that listening to podcasts was an unconventional but effective way to learn and improve his English. Phase 3: Talking with others. The biggest challenge for Mohammed, however, was speaking English. He was afraid of making mistakes and embarrassed by the thought of speaking in front of others. He was sure people would laugh at him if he didn't speak perfectly. But eventually, he realized that these fears were holding him back from progressing. So, Mohammed decided to take a bold step. He joined an online language exchange group. The group consisted of people from all over the world, and they would practice English together. At first, he was shy and nervous, but he decided to be honest with everyone about his level. To his surprise, the group members were incredibly supportive, and many of them were in the same situation. They all made mistakes but helped each other improve. Mohammed started to exchange messages with other learners, and soon he was practicing daily conversations on simple topics like the weather, favorite activities, and work. The more he spoke, the more his confidence grew, and gradually, his fear of making mistakes started to fade. One day, he was asked to give a presentation at work in English. He was incredibly nervous, but he decided to face his fear head-on. He practiced the presentation multiple times before the scheduled date, using the new vocabulary and phrases he had learned. Despite making a few mistakes during the presentation, his colleagues were understanding and appreciated his effort. That experience became a turning point for him, as he realized that the key to fluency was to just keep speaking. Phase 4. Continuous progress. As time passed, Mohammed became more comfortable speaking in English. He started using it daily at work, writing reports, emails, and participating in meetings. He no longer limited himself to simple conversations. He was now able to discuss complex topics and work on international projects in English. Mohammed continued to improve by reading articles and books in English. He also joined online discussions on topics like technology, culture, and current events. His ability to understand and participate in discussions grew steadily, and he felt much more confident using English in both personal and professional settings. Phase 5. Fluency. 2 years into his journey, Mohammed had gone from being a beginner to speaking English fluently. Using English in his daily life had become second nature. He no longer hesitated or felt nervous when he spoke with others. He was proud of his progress and grateful for the opportunities English had brought into his life. He had made friends from around the world, and he was now able to express himself freely in a language that once seemed so foreign to him. Lessons learned. Patience and persistence. Learning a language takes time, and progress isn't immediate. However, consistency and perseverance pay off in the end. Engage with the language. Don't just memorize words, use the language every day in real-life situations. This is how you truly learn. Learn from mistakes. Making mistakes is a natural part of the learning process. Don't be afraid to make them, learn from them instead. Listening and practice. Listening to podcasts, watching movies, and reading in English can significantly improve your understanding and fluency. Speaking is key. Don't wait to be perfect. The more you speak, the more confident and fluent you become. Today, Mohammed is not only fluent in English but also serves as an inspiration for others who are on the same learning path. He shares his story and encourages people to keep going, no matter how challenging it might seem at the start. For him, learning English was not just about acquiring a new skill. It was about unlocking a world full of opportunities. And now, he firmly believes that anyone, regardless of their background, can learn English and thrive in a globalized world.